Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode of the Footy Fetish. This is episode
15.
15. Thank you, Mark. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on everything. I've remembered to do it this time. Comment below, all that good stuff. I'm here with, obviously, Mark Fox. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
And Oliver Greaves. Say hello.
Hello.
There we go. Nice. No Harry today. He is in. He's moving house. So
Moving. Jump ship.
Yeah, he's a bit busy.
I'm with Reading now. Can't be asked with it.
Yeah. He's done with the Royals. No, obviously not. But yeah, we're a man down today, but it's all right. We had our first one with all four of us as a new group, and now we're back down to three. But that's all right. But today we're doing our ours and our fans from Instagram, and that's unpopular football opinions. It should be an interesting one. It's just spark some debate. I imagine everyone on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure comment along, give us some unpopular opinions while you're watching, and we'll get round to them as well. But before we do that, as per usual, I guess we do it like sometimes not if we've got a lot. But we're going to go through last week's football, mainly because all of our teams won.
Yeah.
One of the first weeks I think that's happened. All of our teams have won, so why not go for it? I mean, why don't we start with the best team out of them all?
So you're on the wrong game, mate.
The biggest team in the world. Biggest team in the world. We've all but we weren't going down anyway. I don't really think, but we've all but clinched safety now. I think there's no chance that we're going to get caught now with 1-0 win over West Brom. Luka Milivojevic penalty. How I have missed a Luka pen. Oh man, it was quite funny actually. After last week's pod, which hasn't gone out yet as of recording, but we've said some stuff about footballers who have then this week done some madness. So
we're speaking about this while we're watching. I was watching the Arsenal game, and we said a couple of things. We were like, didn't we just say last week that?
I just said Lamella was their worst player.
Yeah, well, he was arguably their best and their worst.
Harry said the same about Luka, which is understandably he has been bad, but
I think I mentioned about Milivojevic and he's done nothing as well when we Palace won, and I was now obviously looked at the score and was like, sake.
It was a Stonewall pen. It wasn't one of them dodgy ones that could have gone either way. It was a Stonewall pen. It hit his arm in the box. It was in an unnatural position.
Yeah.
And after that we just do what we've started to do well again and close up shop and just not let them in, which was good. I think we're 11th, man.
That's
after
good.
This madness of the season, after this madness, we're above Leeds, we're above Wolves, we're above Southampton.
Jesus.
Who have all, Leeds going into this weekend. No one was saying, Leeds needs to get 3 points to stay up. People were saying it about Palace, but we're above Leeds. Do you know what I mean? We're only 4 points off the top 10. Bit of a mad one. Obviously, it's been an up and down season, but I'm pretty happy, man. I think now that we're basically safe, we've got some tough fixtures coming up, but we've got like Sheffield United in there at home, so that's got to be 3 points. So that'll take us to 40. That's no problem. Hopefully we'll see some of the kids come through now, because our under 18s and under 23s have been absolutely doing bits. So hopefully we'll see some kids come through. But
aren't they top, Palace under 18s?
Our under 18s are top of the Premier League, and then the Premier League South, because it's split to North and South.
Oh yeah.
We're top of the Premier League South. Just beat Chelsea yesterday 2-1.
Nice.
David Omalabu, he is going to be. I hope he gets into the Palace team soon. And he's just signed his first pro contract, and he's banging in goals at 18 and 23s.
Big Donny Char has popped into the chat. Hi Char.
Let's go.
Having it.
Let's go. But welcome to the stream, mate. But apart from that, I think it's all good. I think it's all good, man. I can't see anything going wrong now. Hopefully, unless Fulham have an absolute madness and win every game for the rest of the season. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got anything to say on the Palace West Brom game.
I mean, some of the stats look decent. It looks like West Brom had more of the ball, more shots. Just the only difference there was probably they only had one out of 12 shots on target, which isn't great.
That was it.
That
was it, mate. I mean, that's playing into our hands because that's how we play, man. We don't play with possession and stuff like that. We play on counter. That's how we like to play. So yeah, I mean, possession stats, all that doesn't really bother me when it comes to Palace.
It's what you do with the ball, not how much you have of it.
what we do, mate. Exactly. We won 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Like we got the 3 points at the end of the day. Could have been a bit nicer, but we actually didn't do too badly, to be fair. But we'll move on from that one because, yeah, that was it really.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the second most important game, probably on the just coming down, is Wolves versus Liverpool.
Oh, you want to do Wolves? All right, wrong one.
I was going to do Arsenal.
I thought I was like, oh.
Yeah,
You got
no,
got.
I'm joking. We're doing Arsenal Tottenham, of course. Ollie, Arsenal. What is
Thank God.
2-1 win, mate? 2-1 win. Talk us through it.
North London is red. Get in.
That's it.
Yeah, I thought it was a fairly unconvincing win, and if I'm being realistic, we gave away far too many free kicks just outside the box towards the end of the game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I know that's we are our own worst enemy in that sort of situation. We literally shoot ourselves in the foot every week with some sort of defensive error that leads to a goal. It's ridiculous, but I'm not going to complain. 2-1, 3 points at the end of the day. Odegaard getting his first Premier League goal for Arsenal. Obviously got one in the Europa League last week as well. So he's coming into a bit of form now. Obviously recently got announced as the new Norway captain as well. So he's doing some bits at the moment, Eric Lamela, fuck yourself. He's obviously scored a red card.
Overrated. That is Lamela in a nutshell, bro.
He is.
Gets scores and gets red carded, but he is. I don't like. Yeah, I said Lamela was Spurs' worst player in the pod that is going to come out, and I stick by it. You've got. So what? He got a fluke goal.
Yeah. It was.
We'll get on to that.
Yeah, I was just going to say one quick thing. It wasn't as great as it looked.
No,
that's all I'm going to say.
I don't know if anyone disagrees, but no, I think we're all in agreement that it's a bit more lucky than it is skillful.
Yeah.
But
if you
we'll get
agree in the
that.
comments, then let us know. But yeah.
Oh, we've had a couple people in the chat. So welcome Shed Gaming's with us as well. We've got Evelyn, Queen of the North, which we all know.
We'll be getting on to the Leicester game, don't
yes,
you worry.
we will be doing some unpopular opinions, Shed Gaming. But we are just reviewing some because all of our teams won this week. So we're just talking about that because that
never happens.
Never happened so far.
Basically, why Harry's not here this week.
And
so he didn't qualify to get on the podcast.
He didn't.
So, yeah.
This is true. And he drew.
Yeah.
Evelyn can't even deny that goal was a class finish. It was a good finish, I think, but
yeah, it was.
Leno didn't see it until it was far too late. I think there was nutmeg Partey, so obviously it was already one player in front of him, and then Cedric was next to him as well. So, like, obviously, for him, it's not really going to be too great of a chance for him to be able to save it. I think he did see it quite late, and I think it looked a lot better than it actually was.
I know that, like, I know we're going to get onto it, but because it is an unpopular opinion, right? I give it away. Oh no. If it was Son or a world-class player that did it, I'd be like, yeah, that is world-class. That's what It's Lamela, bruv. Come on, like he's not a good he's not good. Like, I don't know how he stood in that team, man. Like honestly,
it's a bit rude.
Like,
it's a bit rude for Lamela to try that.
Players like Lamela are the reason why Spurs will always be Spurs. Because they have players like that get in the squad like all the time, and it's just he's not very good. And he does something like that, which I can't deny. It was sick, but it was a fluke. Let's not get it
It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah,
No.
He might not even be meaning to shoot. You never know.
He'll try and put a pass in.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just
even with some of the stats, obviously it looks like we dominated it. Well, not necessarily dominated the game, but we did quite well. It's what you like to see from a North London derby. 14 fouls for Tottenham, 12 for Arsenal. It's what we like to see. But yeah, I'm happy with the game overall. To be honest, it was a good game. We came away with 3 points, which is all that matters really at the end of the day.
Evelyn came back and just made a comment. Everyone in the box was ready for him to leather it with his right, and then he slaps a Rabona, which is fair.
Because he can't shoot with his right.
But that Rabona, it wasn't.
He had to do the Rabona, I guess, because he can't shoot with his right foot.
God knows.
But he can't. So
great finish though. It's still quite a good highlight, but
but overrated.
When I heard about it, I was like, oh, I need to go see this. I watched it. I was like, that was kind of disappointing.
I think we were talking at the time, and you're like, have you seen this goal, mate? And I was like, no, I haven't seen it yet. I only watched the second half, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, initial reaction, fair play, but then you actually watch it and
Watch it
analyze it a
again.
bit more in depth, and you're a bit like,
You watch what's going on other than the Rabona, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, fair
yeah.
enough. But no,
More
stats wise, it looked like an interesting game. 86% pass accuracy to 82. Definitely different to that Palace West Brom one where you're both from like 50s.
Oh, we might be like the worst passing team in the league, mate. Honestly.
No worries. Anything else to add on that Arsenal game?
No, not really.
Nah, not really.
Up the Arsenal. Yeah.
Arsenal are 4 points now ahead of us. We were only 1 point behind them, but they're 4 points ahead of us now.
Well, we've
got to close that gap.
We will have a quick look at that table soon.
Yeah, no worries. But Tottenham, I don't know. I don't think they're going to get top 4. I think
they're going to drop off.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a lot of.
They already are.
Well, yeah, I think they're going to have to do a lot of spending again in the summer because they've got to replace Lloris because I don't really rate Lloris at all.
No.
They've got to get some new centre backs, even though I feel like they have. But they didn't get like world class centre backs. They got that Rodon guy or whatever his name is, and he's not amazing. He's good, but he's not like a changing. You know, you're not like a Van Dijk what he's done for Liverpool. Wow. But yeah, no. Spurs. Yeah, I mean, who cares really? It's Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll move on to Liverpool Wolves. Mark.
Yeah, boy. Finally.
What's happened, mate?
Finally, we got a win. We're back.
Scrappy win.
That's not back, but no. Diogo Jota goal. Happy to see it. I've been saying for ages that I just wanted Jota back because he just looks so good, like coming into this. But yeah, happy about it. There was a lot in that game that felt like we could have lost that. So I'm kind of happy that we got.
You put up the starting squads below.
Oh yeah.
Just want to have a look at the teams because I know that the centre back partnership. I didn't quite see who it was for you guys.
That's a new one that I was going to talk about. Nat Phillips and Kabak.
I like.
Apparently, has been decent. So yeah, Nat Phillips is really coming into his own. I think he said. I'm not sure if it was an interview. I'm assuming it was an interview. He said that he expected, obviously, last season to be playing in the Champions League or in the Championships League or going on loan somewhere. But now he's playing like knockout rounds in the Champions Leagues and he's playing against important game. This is an important game because we needed a win. And Wolves are a very beatable team, like most teams that we should have beat. So for him to be obviously in that position and to consistently do it, I'm happy with his performance, I'm not going to lie. And Kabak, obviously shaky start, but it seems like those two have got a thing, which annoyingly meant Fabinho could come into the mid and Thiago could probably play a different game, which he did. And he's playing much better than me saying he's the worst player in the Liverpool squad. And he had a blinder of a game. He had a blinder of a game. It was ridiculous. But
I wasn't actually overly impressed with Fabinho this game.
Fabinho definitely prefers being in that position. You can tell.
I saw him lose possession a few times and do some stuff. But maybe it's just being out because he hasn't gone back to that midfield position, maybe. But I don't know. Obviously he's still a world class player. I just noticed more mistakes from him than I would usually, which is weird.
So just before we get into that, I'm seeing some comments come through. Shed Gaming said, "What do you guys think about the new team of the week that FIFA dropped just now?" Okay, I have no idea.
Let's have a look. You get up.
FIFA team. Wait, what? FIFA team of the year.
Is that Pornhub? No.
No, I've got a phone, mate. FIFA team of the year. What we
team of the week, right?
Team of the week.
Yes.
That's a bit zoomed in, isn't it? Let's have a look then.
Ooh, KDB on.
Oh, I see. Where's the? I'm not gonna lie. I don't. Oh, okay.
I don't play FIFA, Ultimate Team. But this will be interesting.
A little bit blurred. Diogo Jota's there. Nice. I mean, I'm just looking for Liverpool players. Not bad.
Oh, no Palace players. It doesn't count.
Oh god, it's all gone weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't pay too much attention to the stuff. Maybe we should do an episode where we focus on all the FIFA stuff because we haven't really gotten into that yet.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't play. This is the problem. I don't play FIFA 21 onwards.
No.
But anyway,
back to obviously the Liverpool game. We've had Evelyn saying, didn't Liverpool owners say that wherever you finish this year, you've got a mental purse for the summer market? I know we're going to be making moves because we kind of have to. We have to.
Yeah, but you also need players to want to cut. Like I know, Liverpool players will want to come, but like it's harder to attract players who don't have Champions League football.
Yeah,
that's just the bottom line. Doesn't matter who you are if you're going to get Champions League football.
Yeah, but we are consistent. We've been for a while consistently getting in the Champions League. Obviously, we had a final, then we won.
Yeah,
but
that's
it does put us in a different. We're consistently getting Champions League for 20+ years. Where we are now.
Fair enough.
But like,
yeah, no, I get what you mean. If you're not in the actual Champions League at the time, how are you going to attract players who want to compete in the Champions League? And I get that, but I think obviously there's a lot more to consider where you think you're going to be playing for Liverpool, who have recently won it with the same. We still got the same team. There's nothing different with a team that won the Champions League and the Premier League. And then for a player, that will also help, I think, attract players. But I think we'll have to shift players to make that money, which we've said previously. That could be, Salah making a move to, Real Madrid potentially. But that's going to have to be for big money. And that's Kylian Mbappe money, just saying. Yeah.
I think if I'm Real Madrid, if I'm spending Kylian Mbappe money, I'm spending that on Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah. Straight up.
Just personally, if I'm gonna have to spend that much money, I'm spending it on Kylian Mbappe, who's what, like 21,
something stupid like that.
But I know Mo Salah's not old, but I mean Mbappe's already better. Like, let's be real. Like, I know Salah's sick, right? But Mbappe's already better.
I don't think anyone would argue.
Yeah, if Real and it's been destined for Mbappe to go to Madrid, man. He has to. I'd love for him to come here. Don't get me wrong, but if it's, I think it's got to be Madrid, man. He's got to be the revival of the Galacticos.
Zidane's just been asked who he basically thinks is going to be the new Ronaldo, basically, at Real Madrid, whether it's going to be Mbappe, Haaland, or whether Ronaldo is actually coming back. That's been rumoured a lot recently. He's basically said Karim Benzema.
I mean, Benzema has been balling for Real Madrid.
Has been balling.
Yeah. Benzema's a bang player.
I definitely would probably rather take Mbappe or Haaland, just for age purposes. But yeah.
Okay, so we have a question from Evelyn again. Who would you like to see come over? Older, experienced, or young, fresh players? I mean, in general, if you're not
young, fresh players,
run fresh players all the time, build up that potential. An experienced player obviously would be good because they're like ready to go, but then you kind of got limited time on them. You can't develop them, and I guess you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, I love Messi and Ronaldo are fantastic and everything, but I would rather have like Haaland, Mbappe, Sancho, these kind of players come to the Premier League. Then because we're going to see that they could be here for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather see that. I mean, it would be fantastic to see Messi in the Premier League. I still think he would tear it up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't be like, no, thank you. But I would just rather see young players, man. It's just a bit more exciting.
I did see some stuff about Haaland, about Man United going for Haaland.
They should do, because Martial is not the one.
But would Haaland go?
Yeah. I think so. He's already worked with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before.
I mean, his dad was he was born in Leeds and his dad played for Leeds, and there's a big rivalry. But it's not that big of a rivalry. It'd be worse if he went. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be stupid if he was to, if he got offered a big contract that they were going to sign him. It'd be stupid to say no.
I think regardless of how United have performed over the last, say, 5 or 6 years, where it's not been up to scratch of where they used to be, they're still a massive team, and they're still obviously one of the biggest teams in the world. So
biggest team in England.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But you have to take those sort of things into consideration. They're not, obviously, they're doing pretty well this season, but previous seasons they've not been doing too well. Is that going to completely stop people from going there? Not at all. They're still, I think, a very attractive club. So I could definitely see Haaland going to United. Seems like a United sort of player.
I don't know. Do you think it means something though that Man United, Roy Keane ended his dad's career?
Well, I mean, Roy Keane isn't Man United.
Yeah. And Roy Keane also wants.
It must have, I'm sure his dad has a different opinion.
I don't think
I
his
don't
dad's
know, I
going to
don't
turn
know.
around and go, "Don't play for the biggest team in England,"
Yeah.
because
I reckon
one of their players 20+ years ago injured me, or whatever it was.
Fair
Like,
enough.
I mean, I love pettiness at the best.
That would be just amazing.
But that is a mad petty if he's
Yeah.
still.
But Haaland, though,
it was pretty
Jesus.
bad. Like, it was a bad challenge, and I mean, we'll talk about Roy Keane later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think he's going City. Personally, if he's going anywhere, I think that makes the most sense. I think he'll get to the best that he can be if he goes to Man City. He'll be better at Man City than he would be at Man United or Liverpool or anywhere else. He would be the best possible him.
Is this a City?
Guardiola.
Is this a City that would have already won the Champions League by then, or would win it with him?
either or.
Either or. I mean,
Whatever
it doesn't
comes
matter.
first.
Does it? Like, it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough.
Obviously, I think Aguero's starting to get getting to that age now where he's going to be on the way out fairly shortly. Probably
in the
with
next season or two.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So potentially they could be looking at someone like Haaland to take that place. Obviously, they've tried to bring in someone younger to kind of do that in the last couple of years, in Gabriel Jesus, but
He's
I think
shit.
it's not worked out. Yeah, I know you're a massive fan, Alf. So
Yeah, he's so bad, bro. He's
It's
gonna be
not
there.
welcomed.
but yeah, I can definitely see Haaland taking that place up top for City.
Yeah, how have we gone on to? We come on to Haaland and City. and
Mate,
we're
we
talking
do it, don't
We
we?
were looking at some questions, but we've also got a couple of questions on here already. But
Yeah.
Evelyn said, anyone see the GoFundMe page to get Liverpool to get Mbappe to Liverpool? Yes, I did see that, and I was going to bring that up as well.
It's
yeah,
terrible.
funny, really. I don't see why people would genuinely put money into that. Like people, your average Joe, like people like us. Why would we put our own money into that sort of thing?
I think
billionaire owners that own these teams have the fucking money. They don't don't be making them richer, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't understand it. When I saw that, I said if it gets to like 1 million, I might just for the pleasure of it do like £1. If I think, or the minimum's like £5.
If it gets to 1 million, whoever set that account up is taking that money and running.
I think there's some sort of legal thing to say.
They're gone to November. They're gone to November.
Yeah.
June, July, August, December. Don't monetize me.
Like, you don't know the lyrics, Charlie.
Anyway, so I've got the table up at the moment. I think we'd have a look at that. City.
Scroll down a little bit.
No, keep it.
Scroll down a little bit. Yeah.
No.
We don't need to see the top two.
We're better than Leeds. Bielsa. Hodgson is better than Bielsa. That's an unpopular opinion right there, and I don't even believe it.
Bielsa said he wants to stay. Bielsa said he wants to stay at Leeds for the rest of his career.
That'd be sick.
But obviously, there's
that would be
contract
awesome,
issues.
man. I would love that. But no, I don't even believe Hodgson's better than Bielsa. That's just not
Just
good.
focus on number 3. We've got from Queen of the North. I assume she's a Leicester fan.
Yeah. Shout out to Leicester for I know I love Sheffield United. There's such a nice story and like a nice neutral team that you can sort of get behind. Chris Wilder was awesome. I hope he gets another Premier League job because he actually does deserve it.
Chris Wilder to Palace this summer.
Bro, it's like one of the most like-for-like swaps you could do that would actually make... I could access to the most Palace thing ever, mate. I could see that happening. I wouldn't even... I actually really like Steve Wilder. I wouldn't necessarily be against it. I want him to be Sheffield United boss. I don't want him to be a boss of anyone else.
Yeah, he was player turned manager, fan turned player turned manager.
Exactly, and but shout out to Leicester, man. You got to love a 5-0 thumping every now and then, and yeah.
Leicester
They're
delivered.
not... So far, they're not bottling it like they did last year. I think with the way they're going, they're nailed on for top 4, which would be fantastic for them. Be interesting to see what they sign in the summer. Hopefully a new striker because they need to replace Vardy. I know Ian Acho's.
That's another player we said was shit, and he scored a hat trick.
Well, Ian Acho. Who said Ian Acho was
maybe
shit?
Harry?
I think he was in mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He scored a hat trick.
Mine was Iosi Perez. I remember that.
Oh man.
That's the thing. Well, maybe we should start slating these players more often. They'll.
Yeah. Well, obviously they watch the podcast, don't they?
Yeah,
So,
they know.
Yeah,
They
they
tuned
probably
in.
start more often. You know.
Brendan Rodgers, hire us. That'd be fun.
We got a lot of people are assuming top 4 is realistic for Leicester, which, yeah, It really is.
Yeah, of course
if they keep playing,
last top 4 the whole year.
Last 5, 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. That's not terrible.
They're a good team, man. They're a good
Better
team.
than
Really
Liverpool.
good.
There's only 9 games left.
Sure, I think they're fine.
Well, 9 games for the majority.
I actually think that will be the top 4.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the top 4. City, United.
You don't think Liverpool have a chance?
No, not with the way Chelsea, not with the way Tuchel's got Chelsea defending. Like they've conceded barely any goals, getting clean sheet. Like
true, and the lack of goals we're finding.
Unbeaten, yeah. Chelsea, I think that'll be the top 4. I think it might not be that order, but that'll be the top 4.
West Ham. West Ham won the last 2, but you were right.
West Ham
are dropping off.
West Ham will drop down to 6th or 7th. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I think, yeah. And then I think Arsenal will probably jump Villa and finish 9th, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we're going to finish between 8th and 10th, realistically.
Yeah, I think we're going to finish 11th or 13th. Basically, between 11 and 13, I think we'll finish.
We've been consistently around 10th for months now.
Yeah.
We've literally only fluctuated between maybe sort of 9th and 12th. But yeah, we've just been stuck in that mid-table right now.
I don't know about you guys, but I think majority of football fans would probably be like this. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the end of this season.
It's just actually winding up to be a bit more interesting, isn't it?
I'm really looking forward to next year. I'm looking
forward. If you think about it, normally
I'm looking forward
on paper this would be probably one of the most exciting seasons, but I think a lot of people are probably more entertained by other seasons. You think about obviously how close it's been for a lot of teams this season as well.
It's just the fans not being there. It sucks. It sucks way more than I actually thought it was gonna.
Definitely, but hopefully next season's a bit better.
I think it will be. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see. And this summer and next year is going to be huge for Palace because probably new manager, probably quite a few new players. It's interesting to see how it goes. You know,
I mean, this summer transfer window is going to be interesting as well.
Yeah, fucking AC Milan. Just Milan now, but Milan scouts are at Selhurst Park, not letting go. I actually don't know if that's true. Could that be true?
I don't know.
Because of COVID and that?
I don't see why it would be true. I don't see why they would want anyone from Palace, but
well, they'd want some. Well, they'd want Wilfred.
Or maybe Zaha, but
they'd want Wilfred, bro.
Unless they're scouting Roy.
Not
yeah, maybe.
No Eze staying.
Yeah, Eze's staying, man. He's a good player, bruv. Like, don't get me wrong.
I really like Eze.
But it's the step up from the Championship to the Premier League. So it is like there is going to be a bit of learning to do. Just generally, like I think next season I think he'll take that step up next season because he'll have this season under his belt. Hopefully, we'll get a new manager in that knows how to fucking use him. A free goal. I think he's got 3 goals, 4 assists this year in the Premier League, which is actually not bad considering.
I think he's an absolute baller. I think he's great on the ball. He's awesome.
Yeah, so I think it's quite. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be all good, man. I think.
Oh wow, Alfie, you're positive.
Just because we're not going to get relegated. That's why. and this week, yeah, I think it's all good at the moment. I mean, we're not playing football that I particularly like watching, and it does suck. I do wish that we'd play a bit nicer football. Attack a bit more often, that kind of thing. But I can't. Probably 11th in the table. Can't argue with that.
Fair.
As much as I might not like watching.
Let's see who you're above. Not terrible. Southampton should be higher. Wolves should be higher.
Wolves should be a lot higher. It's mad how much Southampton have dropped off.
Yeah.
They were banging it at the beginning of the season. Danny Ings was looking like he was going to be one of the top goal scorers, and now they're 14th.
That's the thing. We might not play the nicest football, but fucking hell, we get results, man.
Yeah, you get more.
We've only lost one of our last 5, and we've played Spurs and United in that time.
That's actually decent.
We got 3 clean sheets in our last 5. So
yeah, doing all right, doing okay.
It is what it is. Our goal difference is horrific. But
was there any other notable matches that happened?
No. I mean, City beat Fulham 3-0. Not really that noticeable.
City, they're going to win anyway, aren't they?
Needed a win against West Ham. They that one.
Chelsea Leeds draw. Now I don't know about you, but I expected that to go a completely different way.
I've seen quite a few people quite a few Chelsea fans being pretty pissed off with that. So they've wasted 90 minutes of their life watching that game.
Let's have a look at some of the stats.
I didn't watch much of it. They didn't lose. They drew it. Let's be honest. Leeds play nice football on their day.
They're a decent side.
They do. They play nice football on their day.
Yeah, we've said this before. One week they'll look like they could challenge for the top 4, and the next week they look like they're fighting relegation.
But we're above them.
Yeah.
I love having Leeds in the Premier League. I really do.
What Chelsea team did we see this week?
I've seen Havertz. I really want Havertz to do well. Man.
Wow. Okay.
No Werner.
As soon as I put Ben fucking Chilwell as well, what the hell, bruv? I was just saying that Ben Chilwell's been dropped and all this stuff, and now he's back in the team. I put it in the group chat,
and I saw he bloody kept a clean sheet and actually started, and I'd take him out of my fantasy team. So
Timo, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Reece James all came on.
Yeah, Reece James has been playing more in that midfield, and I actually quite like it.
Who would he come on for? Christian Pulisic?
I think so, but I think like he's actually not. Just nearly pulled my headphones out. He's actually not a bad midfielder, man. I think he could maybe move there instead of Trent, because Trent obviously I think with Trent there was talk to that, but he thrives off being in that right back area for him to play the way he plays. So I don't know, Reece James I think could be a bit of a nice and then it would get him in the team as well because he's a really good player, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. Should we get on to this unpopular opinions? We've been chatting a load of.
Yeah, we do this, don't we?
Yeah, let's do that. Next week, so who cares about talking about that? Right. So how do we want to do this? Do you want to go for the listeners' ones first, or should we do our own ones? I know me and Ollie have got some of our own ones. I don't know if you did get around to think of some. You just go off the top, mate.
A lot of my opinions are unpopular these days. It's fine.
Yeah, so they're normally all off the dome anyway.
Yeah, straight out of the noggin.
That's it. So I guess we'll go with ours real quick. Who wants to start?
Go on, Ollie.
Football players are not overpaid.
Okay.
Shots fired.
I'm with you.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of controversy these days about how much football players get paid. Some players get paid probably a little bit more than they should do, but in the grand scheme of things, considering how much money they make for the organisations they play for, why don't they deserve to get paid that amount of money? At my job, if I was making millions and millions of pounds for my company every month or every week, however long, I should deserve to get paid a lot of money as well. Exactly. So why is it different for footballers? Obviously, I know in the grand scheme of things, if you look at their salary compared to say my salary or sort of anyone else's salary, it might be a lot. Well, the differences are gigantic, but at the end of the day, you look at what their worth is to that organisation, to that company, and they get paid according to that, which I think is completely fair. And as I say, it might be a hell of a lot more than we're getting paid at our normal jobs, but they're making a hell of a lot more money for these clubs than.
Well, a lot of players do a lot of charity as well. They do stuff with that money. Like I know so many players who, like Mane as well, set up hospitals and things back in his country. So
those all paid Gunnosaurus's wages for a little while. I don't know how long. I'm not sure if he's still doing it now, but.
Ever since Wilfred Zaha signed a pro contract, he's donated 10% of his weekly wage to an orphanage in Croydon, or around the area. I don't know it's something like that. And then he does loads of other charitable stuff as well. We show a lot of Wilfred Zaha love on the channel. But yeah, no, sticking to your thing as well. This is entertainment, man. People don't complain about actors, singers getting millions and millions. This is entertainment. The demand is there. People. Pay for it. If you don't like how much players get paid, don't watch.
And how much time and effort they put into what they do. So
money.
Yeah,
okay.
Money, Ched.
This is going well, isn't it, Mark?
I just thought I'd get a picture up to try and represent some money.
No, I'm with you on that one, Ollie. I think
how much sort of time and effort they put into their jobs as well. Their training, or they're at least at the training ground or at their actual stadium, 5-6 days a week, if not more.
Yeah, and they have to be physically. Hours. They can't do what they want.
No, exactly. They it's not like they're taking off Christmas and New Year and everything like that. They go out and have a weekend off, or I'm going to book some holiday this week. I'm not going to play the big London derby. I just fancy going away with the missus or whatever. They don't do that. It's pretty much a 365, 247.
Aubameyang does, doesn't he?
Sorry?
Aubameyang does, doesn't he?
What, takes time off?
Yeah, he don't turn up. That's what it was the other day, wasn't it? That's why he's dropped.
Apparently, he was stuck in traffic.
He was, for disciplinary reasons. So essentially, he was late for training.
Yeah.
So he didn't start.
No, I'm joking.
But yeah.
Quite ironically, God, are we good? Football one are we done on that one? Because I've actually got one about Aubameyang.
Sure.
If we can go on to that one, Arsenal should have sold Aubameyang last summer.
I knew it would be there.
I said it last summer.
I agree.
I said it last summer.
Yeah.
They should have sold Aubameyang. They would have got so much money for him. He does not fit your timeline. You're building one of the youngest teams in the league, and he is a striker that is in win now mode. He costs a lot of money. You could have got his wages off the books. You could have got like 80 probably million for him. Something crazy. And now he's been shit this year. Basically, he's come into a bit of form recently, but over the whole year he's not been great. You could have used that money to bring in players like Alwa, or I'm not sure. There was a couple of other players you were looking at that were younger. I think that would have been better. You wouldn't have had was it not this summer just gone? It was the summer before you signed Pepe, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I just think that would have made a lot of sense. If you try and sign now, it's not gonna.
So I was going to say, in the grand scheme of things, basically, on paper, if you look at Aubameyang last season, he was banging in goals. He was one of the top scorers in the Premier League. Like, why would we get rid of him in that sort of sense? He hadn't done anything there was no indication there of the fact that he was going to fall off this season or anything like that. He could have just continued and done exactly the same, if not better. But obviously we went to
what he does is not like what he does. His what he's primarily great at. You don't keep until when you're older, if you know what I mean. Like, he's got a lot of pace. He doesn't particularly beat defenders. I don't ever see him taking in players one-on-one, like taking them on. He doesn't do that a lot. He doesn't hold up the ball. Do you know what I mean? He's not one of these players that does a load of different stuff. He's fast and he can score. But if you're like a team like Arsenal who don't spend a lot of money, they spend money if they get rid of players and all this kind of stuff. If you're looking at really for the future, long term, selling Aubameyang was probably the best move for you guys, because you could have reinvested in the squad. You could have got a lot of money for him. Now, if you try and sell him this summer, you are not going to get close to what you could have got last year.
Yeah, of course.
He's a year older, so you got next season. You're thinking next season, well, okay, so he might be a yard slower. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff. It's just very Arsenal.
Yeah, well,
he'll go for a free, bro.
A wonderful thing at the end of the day. If we were to know that, we wouldn't have signed a new contract. We could have
last summer by a few people, not by the majority, obviously. This is unpopular opinions.
That's the thing, but as I say, it's one of those situations that hindsight's a wonderful thing. If everyone was saying that, and if the Arsenal board, or if Arsenal believe that, then they would have got rid of him. But they've got to stick to their guns at the end of the day. And fortunately, obviously, it's not worked out in our favour this year. He scored a couple of goals and obviously got his first Prem hat trick for us. But he's been nowhere near the player he was last season. I think. As I say, but we
maybe it's something to do with
predicted that though. We wanted to stick by our players, or sit by Aubameyang. He's been arguably our best player over the last couple of years. So why would we get rid of him in that sort of sense?
I think maybe something to do with obviously saying if obviously Arsenal maybe just thinking get him. I don't know if it's something to do with maybe just keeping morale about amongst the fan base, because with the year that people have had, if you sell Aubameyang, a lot of Arsenal fans would be mad about that, aren't they? They're going to go mental. With already what happened last year with Emery and then Arteta coming in. Arteta's not had the best go right now, but he's coming back. He's working things out. Obviously, a majority of Arsenal fans hate the board that you've got. All this kind of stuff. I think if they had then sold Aubameyang on top of that, maybe that could have just pushed everything over the edge or something. Maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. But just
obviously, Arsenal fans are some Arsenal fans. I won't say all Arsenal fans are known for their.
Arsenal in general, I think, is one of the more vocal fan bases out of the English Premier League, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, things like AFTV and everything like that give Arsenal fans a huge platform to voice their opinion. And I think if we were to get rid of Aubameyang last summer, we could be in a terrible position with our fans right now in terms of they're all slating us even more than they have been anyway, because we've obviously had a bit of an up and down season. So I think obviously we would have been damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of situation. I think a lot of people would have been furious that we would have got rid of him. A lot of people would have been probably quite happy. And obviously we did keep him. Probably wasn't the best decision looking back at it now. We could have obviously cashed in on him, got some money in, but
remember when I put that in the group chat in the summer and Hendry was just having none of it. He was like, "No, what are you talking about, mate? What are you talking about?" I was like, "Okay, well, we'll see."
And we have triggered.
But, you know, he's still fantastic. He is still a fantastic striker. It's just that, with the sort of timeline you're on, he doesn't exactly fit it. But yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll never know. We never know what happens. Yeah, football's a funny thing. He could bang in 30 goals again next year. But yeah, Ollie, have you got another one?
Yeah. Roy Keane wasn't a world-class player. He was a great leader, but he was actually a bit overrated as an actual player. Yeah. I think we're now sort of briefly discussing this just before the podcast, but he was part of the generation where you kind of think, oh, he was he's a legend. He was a world-class player. But I think that was more to do with the players that he played with, not necessarily him and that generation of player.
I'm going to go out on a... Sorry, Ollie, to interrupt. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go back to Big 11. I think most 90s players are overrated.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. But continue, sorry.
Yeah, well,
just put that in my brain. I was thinking, actually, a fucking lot of them are.
Yeah, again, obviously, if you're saying they're overrated, are you comparing them to people these days, though? Obviously,
they're way better.
Yeah, obviously, they are way better these days, but at the time, they were potentially world class because there wasn't anyone better than those sort of people like there is now.
True. Very true.
But yeah, Roy Keane for me he's always regarded as sort of such a class player and everything like that. But I don't think he was actually quite up there with the rest of them. As I say, it was the team that he played with and played on, played around. Definitely, I think probably boosted his rating up a bit. But as I say, still wasn't terrible by any means. He was a good player, but I don't think he was completely world class. Like you said, Alf, he was a bit of an enforcer.
Yeah, I think we've had Shed Gaming sort of agree. Maradona would lose to Mbappe, but he's still a legend. Different times.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hit nail on the head there. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean. They are. I think just generally, I think that is just how it goes, isn't it? Like another unpopular opinion is maybe you shouldn't compare Ronaldo and Messi to Pele and Maradona because it is evident that Ronaldo and Messi are just so much better than them two. I'm sorry, but it is just a fact, isn't it? Like you have to be like football. This is the best football has ever been, ever. So therefore, the players, the superstars, are going to be the best superstars that we've ever seen. Yeah. And it'd be interesting.
Where there was players, obviously back in the day, they still had normal day jobs, and now these players, this is their day job. This is their job. This is what they do all day, every day, and they spend a lot more time and a hell of a lot more money improving things in terms of their facilities.
Well, we've just had another comment from Shed Gaming, basically different training budgets, ideas, science behind trainings, etc. Obviously, that's putting all the sports categorized in that one comment. Basically, obviously, now that science is coming in, you can make small improvements to have a bigger impact. Yeah. Like even just the type of grass.
It's not football, but LeBron James spends $1 million a year on his body.
Jesus.
To keep himself intact. You know, footballers can do that. I'm sure they do. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the difference between that. You know, like George Best. You could not be George Best and play football now.
No. You couldn't.
As much as an absolute, he might be the most legendary footballer of all time in terms of just everything about him. But yeah, I mean, he was class for his time, absolutely.
Yeah, but you couldn't not do what he does. Starting 11 of a Prem team now,
let alone Man United.
Yeah,
and be the guy. But yeah, hilarious, man. Almost makes me kind of want to go back and have a little watch that kind of era of football. Do you know what I mean? But
that's why football now would make a terrible TV show.
Yeah, yeah. The game is it's weird. It's faster paced and stuff like that, but it is just I don't know. There's something.
It's lost its soul.
Yeah. No, not that. I just think it's lost its physicality, bro. I think it's just you can't do what you can do back in the day. It's a lot more technical now. It feels, and just that's it. Really. Yeah. Next one, I got. Mark, you like this one? You should support your local team.
Well, if that's the case, I support Itching.
Well, yeah, true, but I do believe this to a degree.
Yeah.
I say it more for just winding people up that I know and stuff like that. Obviously yourself, being from Merstham. We were saying, me and Ollie were saying, did you get the Merstham Merseyside stuck up, confused or something? Is that what it was?
You got them mixed up.
What do you mean? Oh,
you obviously lived in Merstham, Merseyside.
The Moatsiders. That's what they're known as.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree to a degree. Like, it's difficult, obviously, because I support Liverpool because I was just brought up to.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. I got told what team to support, and obviously, not a bad team to support, clearly.
I got told to support West Ham, and I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, that went well. So, yeah, no.
Not this season, but...
I agree to a degree, but obviously there's just so many factors in there.
It's just like, for me, it's just about, going to see them. That's like, and this kind of stuff, being ingrained around like the area in which you support. I go outside, I'll see Palace fans everywhere. I know you will with Liverpool and stuff like that, but I guess not really. I'd see more Palace fans around it than Liverpool fans, I'd imagine.
Yeah, obviously, if you go,
because I'm in the area. Do you know what I mean?
If you go to Liverpool, you're probably not going to see a Palace fan.
I probably won't find a Palace fan. No, that's exactly it. But yeah, it's just all about the whole thing of it. The team. You're low. You're there. You're rooted into it. Do you know what I mean? Like I was 8 months old. My first Palace game. My dad and my uncle took me. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just all that kind of stuff. It's just that's why I'm.
But is
Palace
that?
fan,
but I've moved around quite a bit.
That's fair enough.
Because obviously, I lived in Merstham for quite a while, but I'm not going to support Merstham, am I?
No,
they're a decent team, but
you still get away with Palace, I reckon.
No, but that's just, if Alf was to have moved from where he is now to Newcastle or whatever,
I'd still be a
Palace fan. It's not necessarily where you have to change teams every time you move to a different town or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's see where you've grew up, where you started to support
from.
football is obviously, I think, more what Alf's trying to say, as opposed to you've moved to Newcastle at the age of 10, so you now have to be a Newcastle
fan. I think it's the romantic man. Romanticise the football a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of them things. But more trolling that one, but I do actually believe it to a degree.
I kind of scrape into that category, North London. Obviously.
Yeah, I think with London you can just
pretty much
get away
London.
with. Yeah, you can kind of get away with it. But yeah, no, that was my one. Ollie, how many have you got more? I've got one more.
We've got a few audience ones as well.
I know you've got. Mark, we'll let you go through the audience ones, man. But we'll just get our ones out of the way.
I'm done for my one. Well, to be fair, one of mine is actually in the audience ones.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Let me get it back up. Where is it? Shithousery should be encouraged.
We had some feedback about that one, didn't we?
We did. I think from Harry.
Yeah, it should be, absolutely.
Love it. Keeps the game
Harry
super interesting.
In the group chat earlier, I'd like to throw my full support behind the shithousery one. So yeah, I'll take that. I think it should be encouraged. I think it adds a new level of entertainment to the game, which VAR is currently destroying. So yeah, I think it's all a bit fun and games, really.
Yeah.
I know it sort of takes it back to how it used to be a bit. There always used to be that sort of shithousery back in the day, and see with some of these players, like Vinnie Jones was probably one of the best examples.
I mean, but he was actually hurting people.
Oh yeah.
I don't want people to get hurt because I want to see the best footballers play.
Yeah.
But
like Haaland.
Shithousery, not necessarily in terms of how aggressive he was or anything like that, but in terms of the sort of the personality he was, as opposed to going in 2-footing people.
That's like, you know what? You've just reminded me. I remember Palace Brighton, not the early the first game this season. Just seeing, it was quite nice. It was two young players. It was Tyreek Lamptey. It was Lamptey and Mitchell. Obviously, Palace and Brighton players, rivalry. And them two getting into it in the first game of the season, standing right close to each other. I was like, oh, I love that. It's good to see the younger players bringing that through, especially in an actual rivalry. Although, yeah, weird one. Obviously, weird rivalry, but yeah.
Simon's Shed Gaming has just commented, better than dive culture of today, which, yeah, dive culture is really annoying. Seems like it's the easy way out. You feel you get a touch on the ball, you feel an elbow, you go down. It's like,
I have no problem if you're actually fouled and you go down because you've been fouled.
But not when you feel like a hand.
But not when you
lightly touch you.
Not when you've not been fouled. Like Mo Salah, basically, he will go down. There's one of the things why, it's like Neymar, Mo Salah. These players, it annoys me when they do that kind of stuff. But
well, speaking of Salah, here he is.
But yeah, no, he if it's just a dive and you've not even been touched or whatever, then you should be yellow carded straight away or just red them, whatever. It'd be hilarious.
I think obviously with the diving thing, I think people do it, or people are doing it more and more often because it's being given.
Yeah.
And that's obviously if it never gets given, then people aren't going to bother trying it, because you kind of think obviously, felt a slight touch, I'm in the box, may as well go down. There's a good chance
so
I can
50-50 right now. Exactly. I like those odds. I'm not going to score from this angle.
Exactly. So I think the fact that obviously a lot of them are given, and obviously hopefully I assume they would have thought VAR is going to solve this, but obviously it's causing more issues than it's solving at the moment.
Shed Gaming also agrees it's encouraged by some managers because they get free kicks. Which is fair. Yeah. You get the ball, players run up, pull the set piece, potentially get a goal.
That's it. Yeah, I've got one more.
Yeah, go on.
For me, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is one of the most overrated players of all time.
What has he won?
Okay, so I'll take 4 French Cups with PSG. Doesn't fucking count. 4 Italian Cups, which is fair enough, with Inter Milan, Juventus, and AC Milan, I think, which is fair enough. But let's get into this. When he went to Barcelona, he famously didn't get on with Pep Guardiola and quite a few of the players, and was a problem in the locker room. In 2009, he went on loan to Milan. Barca won the Champions League that year. When he left Inter Milan, the following season, they did the treble. So he was Messi took his spot. I mean, you can't really argue with that. He calls himself a god when, in actual fact, if he's a god, then what are the actual top 30 players in the world then? If he's a god, because I could probably name you 30 players better than Ibrahimovic right now.
He's given him himself GOAT status. No one's given.
Yeah, and he's not a GOAT. He's not even close. He hasn't won a Champions League. How can you call yourself that if you haven't won a Champions League? And you've played for Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Manchester United. I know Manchester United are in a bit of a thing. PSG, in a league where you can take the weekends off.
Sorry to interrupt you. Big Johnny Chars following.
Nice.
Got a follow there. I was right when he was ranting as well.
Yeah, you messed up the flow.
Nice one, John. We might as well look at the comments there. I think Shed Gaming really agrees with that. He put preach. His ego is bigger than his skill, but he is a very good player.
I think he's so self-confident that I think some people are like, oh no, he actually is. He actually is one of the greatest. But I think it's just because he doesn't get shot down like when Lovren said he was one of the best players and best defender in the world or whatever, and everyone laughed at him and was like, "You're an idiot, shut up." I think with Zlatan, he's got sort of some respect from fans where they're not going to call him out as much as they would call out someone like Lovren. He's very, very self-confident, which I think helps him, but. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think he is overrated.
I like that. That's a really good shout.
Well, I mean, so PSG is where he played most of his career. You can take the fucking weekends off. You don't even need to play essentially to win the fucking French league. Let's be honest.
Nah. Just one more comment. Shed Gaming again. Anyone who talks about themselves in third person is not a goat.
Yeah, Zlatan Ibrahimovic cannot lace Robert Lewandowski's boots. Let's put it that way.
Fuck it up.
Lewandowski's might be he's probably my favourite striker of all time. I'm not even gonna lie.
He is.
But,
he is at one point go.
Fucking awesome, man. But yeah, I just love me a bit of Lua. But yeah, Zlatan. Yeah,
just made his announcement to go unretire from the Sweden national team.
Yeah, he won't do fuck all with him because he hasn't done ever. I mean, he did score one of the best goals I've ever seen against England for Sweden. But yeah, Zlatan overrated. Right, I think we've got fan ones now, have we, Mark?
We do indeed. Now, yesterday on Instagram, Ollie put out the question asking some people what they think are some unpopular opinions. Now, what do we want to do? Want to do this chronologically, so do it as they were posted, or I'm just gonna
just go through it, mate.
Should we just whiz through it as it is?
A nice little fun one. Harry has a better first touch than Pirlo. Changed my mind.
Oh well, no, you're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah, definitely. If you've seen Harry play football, then you've witnessed somebody who is better than Zlatan. Anyway,
Harry's assisted me on the nicest goal I've ever scored in the park when we were at university. It was just a banging goal. He'll know. He'll know. But yeah, he has. Well, I know we're taking the piss, but Harry is actually pretty good at football.
Yeah, he's good.
Like,
good feet.
He really is.
He's
like,
got good feet.
Genuinely good.
Genuinely.
Yeah. He's technically very good.
The next one: Big Six clubs are based on where you finish, not a divine right. Looking at you, Arsenal fans.
Well, I know definitely a friend of ours posted this. I don't know. I'll just say quickly first. I think it's obviously Ollie being an Arsenal fan, and you two are actually fans, I guess, of the top six. Maybe not Ollie, but I think it's partly to do with it's consistency, right? You got to be doing it for a while to be considered a club. So personally, for me right now, with the way things are going, Leicester have replaced Arsenal as one of the top six teams because of their form and all this kind of stuff. Generally a better run club. I think they have a better manager, better players all round. Definitely, I think. But yeah, Arsenal obviously were for ages. But personally,
I still don't think that.
And they spend money like a
top six. Really,
Leicester spend money like a top six team.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it all revolves around Stan Kroenke. Really, I hate him so much. The fact that he just obviously doesn't provide any funding for us, it hurts the club a lot. I wouldn't say we're necessarily outside the big six. I think we're going through obviously a couple of bad seasons. Chelsea went through it. United have gone through it. Were they ever considered out of the big six? No, not at all.
Wait, sorry, what was that? I was
Chelsea and United have both had some shoddy seasons, finishing 9th. I think Chelsea finished one season, and United have obviously not been amazing over the last couple of years. Obviously brought it back a bit this year. They've never been considered outside the top six.
They have won. They have both of those teams have won the Premier League within the last decade and even more though.
True. Yeah,
Arsenal have not really been that close.
Well, yeah. Well, all I can say is that we've won the FA Cup a couple of times. Obviously, I know it's not the Premier League.
I mean,
but
both Chelsea and Man United have also won the Champions League in that time as well.
Yeah, true. But I still don't think that we're outside the top six. Obviously, based on what this says, obviously the big six clubs are based on where you finish. It's not a divine right. If the league stays how it is now, West Ham are not in the top six. They're not a big six club at all.
No.
Like you said, I think it is obviously to do with a bit more with consistency, but I wouldn't say we're out of the top six. I think we're very much teetering on the edge, but I think after the end of next season, if we haven't pulled anything back and we're still finishing mid-table, then fair play. Yeah, we're outside the top six, but yeah, obviously it used to be the top four.
Yeah.
Obviously it's now the top six. It could be
with me saying that Arsenal aren't in the top six, like they're seventh for me. Do you know what I mean? They're like right there. It's not like they've dropped off massively or anything like that. Everton have gone above or anything like that. It is literally like they're right there. It's just because of Leicester and what they've done. They won the Premier League. What they've done.
We came second.
Yeah, true. But you still like 15 points off them or something. But yeah.
With the sass.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do that.
Jesus Christ. Let him have it, man.
I'm sorry, Ollie. You came.
Yeah, we were 15 points off them, but still second. There's all these teams that are in the Big Six that were even further off.
That's the shithousery we want.
But yeah, no, it's not done on a yearly basis. You can't do that.
Nice. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Another one I've got. Should Phillips, this is Nathaniel Phillips for Liverpool, should Phillips stay at centre-back and partner with VVD next year?
Joe Gomez is fit, no.
Yeah.
Don't think we've seen
They won a Premier League and a Champions League with Joe Gomez next year.
I was about to say that Joe Gomez has done a lot more than Nathaniel Phillips.
Yeah.
I like Nathaniel Phillips. He is definitely, going forward, he is in the running and challenging for a spot. But with given who's in front of him, with experienced defenders...
Is Matip in front of him as well?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
When he's fit.
So do you sell Nat? How old is Nat Phillips?
I think he's only like 22.
How old? Okay, you look at Nat Phillips. Let me go Joe Gomez. Okay, Joe Gomez is 23.
God, it doesn't even give me his...
It's
23.
Okay, so... No, Joe Gomez is a better player than Nat Phillips. Sorry. And if they're the same age and you've won a Champions League and a Premier League with Joe Gomez being Van Dijk's partner, you don't just stop that because Nat Phillips has come in and done all right. He's not been the well beater, has he?
No, he's...
And do you think he has to move on?
Who? Sorry.
Do you think Nat Phillips should move on from Liverpool, considering what's up in front of him?
He would.
Joe Gomez is his age.
If there was no injuries, he wouldn't even get a look in.
That's what I'm thinking, because Matip's ahead of him, like we were saying. Do you think, like, as a Liverpool, I know this is going off topic, but do you think Nat Phillips should move on from Liverpool?
There's not enough. If all our injuries come back, which obviously they will, there's going to be no room for him. So yeah. And
then you've just signed 2 more centre backs.
Yeah. We signed Kabak, who is a good defender. Don't get me wrong; he had a shaky start, but is decent and is experienced and is physically probably a lot better. But actually, Nat Phillips is a bit of a tank, but that can only get you so far. He's a great little prospect.
Definitely.
But
I'll take him at Palace a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think he should go to a team that will play him, because when you're in front of you, if you're a centre back playing for Liverpool, in front of you, you've not only got a world-class centre-back that you're not ever going to get better at. So there's one spot for another, 3 centre-backs? Because there's Reece Williams as well, who I think is younger, but not terrible. You got Matip,
Ben Davies,
Kabak, Ben Davies. So you've got like a queue of people. And if you want regular game time, you're not going to get that at Liverpool.
We've managed to turn this from should Nat Phillips be starting to Liverpool to should Liverpool sell Nat Phillips. I mean,
that's what's going to happen, let's be honest. I mean, as much as I appreciate that comment, and it is an unpopular opinion at its core, it's more of a question, really. I just don't think, why would you put Nat Phillips next to a world-class defender when you've got a very, very good defender ready who is experienced at playing with Van Dijk and has a really good relationship playing with him? Like, you can't
won the Champions League,
won the Premier League, won so much with him. So no, Nat Phillips should not start with VVD next year. It shouldn't happen. Although he's been put, like we said earlier, he's been put in a position where he's had to be good. He's been put in a position like
but he's not actually been like a well beater though, has he?
No.
Like, he's been decent, but he's not been enough to then take Gomez or Van Dijk's spot.
He's coped with
definitely not Van Dijk.
I wouldn't say he's sort of gone over and above expectations. I think
he's been fairly quiet. I think he's just done a quiet.
He's done
job.
what he's needed to do.
He's done the job.
He's done the job, but I don't think he's gone over and above, and I don't think Klopp's going to be looking at him going, Virgil or Nat? He's definitely going to be thinking.
He's not the player to be pigging balls to Salah.
He'd sooner get in the England team than the Liverpool team.
Yeah,
I think so.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, if he can find regular,
nailed on. Like, Van Dijk's nailed on. I don't really. I thought maybe John Stones is nailed on because he is actually very, very good player.
Pretty good.
What?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's just me being a bit of just saying random shit. But
you mean Gomez, not Van Dijk? You said Van Dijk for the. You said Van Dijk for the England team.
Oh,
I meant
Nat Phillips is more could challenge more for the England.
Oh yeah.
Job than for Liverpool. But then thinking about it, maybe not. Because I know Maguire's not amazing, but I guess he is the other one.
I wouldn't want to be in that Phillips position where you're having a good season, I guess, or good run in centre back for Liverpool when you know you're not wanted.
You've got 5 centre backs now.
Do you know what I mean, you're not. We know who we want in that centre, and we know who we want to come on if there's injuries, and none of that says Nat Phillips.
And they're not old, so they don't need to be replaced anytime soon.
No, Jesus.
So yeah, I don't know, mads. But yeah, cool. I like the question.
That was a good one. That was actually, that was good.
But no.
This one, I like this one. Who's better at FIFA, Alfie or Mark? Well, Alfie, you play more FIFA than me, so I'm inclined to say you.
Bro, I haven't played FIFA in a while, but I did at uni. I did beat you with India, and I can't remember who you were.
But I've played a lot more FIFA now.
That's true.
Uni was when I only first started playing FIFA, and I remember when I moved in, I had a house share with my cousin, and we banged FIFA out every single day. I actually got good.
You were. Yeah, I remember them days.
So I also followed that up with a little comment when we reposted this. Only one way to find out. Footy Fetish tournament.
Down.
We've got 4 people now. We can increase that as well. Get a couple stragglers. Simon is not allowed.
I'll have to officiate.
No, Simon's not allowed. You can officiate.
No, Simon's going to have to officiate that, mate.
Yeah, Simon's not allowed.
So it's gonna happen. Well, Shed Gaming on there. I mean, obviously we all know. I've dropped his name about 10 times this time.
Yeah, follow him. Give him a follow.
Oh, I have. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you have. I'm saying to these lot.
Oh yeah, if you're watching, go join Shed Gaming on there. We'll be doing a lot of work with Shed Gaming going forward. A lot of football related gaming, which we've got lined up. We're going to do some Rocket League, FIFA. It's gonna be fun. I call bullshit. All right, mate. But nah.
Sticking with the Liverpool.
Footy Fetish. I think what?
Sorry, mate.
Sticking with the Liverpool. The next one, Fabinho is the best CDM in the Prem.
Are we saying Kante's a CDM?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Then no.
Yeah.
Kante's still the best CDM in the world. World. Fabinho's second though. I think he's very good.
Yeah,
I think of other ones. Obviously, Luka Milivojevic is pretty up there.
Yeah, Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Oh, Xhaka, of course.
I mean, I've naturally seen more of a Fabinho play than Kante. But obviously...
I think Kante, because Kante was just, I think
he's having a bit of an off-season, but I still think he's brought
it back this year. Last year wasn't amazing for him, but this year he's been very solid under Tuchel rather than Frank. But... mate, Kante, bro, one of the best players I've ever watched on his day, like, you know what I mean? At Leicester and then following Chelsea seasons. Oh, bro.
We've watched Simon saying Kante is centre mid, surely.
Well, he plays more. I don't know, man. He plays a bit of everywhere, but he is mainly more defensive than he is. I guess. Hold on. Let me have a look at the latest, because I know he played with Jorginho as like the more defensive player midfielders in the draw against Leeds. So
let's see what we can find.
I guess obviously some players, one day they're a centre back, not a centre back, a centre mid, and the next day they're playing CDM sort of role. That their roles they're not necessarily the exact.
Oh, actually, to be fair as well, I would also chuck Ndidi up there.
Yeah.
Declan Rice as well. He's been fantastic this season.
Fernandinho as well. He's a class player.
Henderson or Fabinho.
Was this this season?
No, not Henderson.
Are they talking about this season, or are they talking about like ever?
It just says Fabinho is the best CDM in the Prem. I assume they mean
in the Prem, like right now.
Yeah, I assume they mean right now, because even if it was ever, I would say definitely not.
No, I mean I wouldn't put Henderson there because he kind of had to go CDM, and he's just more of a centre mid. He controls the game in the centre mid, putting those balls in, taking those long shots.
I mean, if you're going on defensive impact, ironically, James MacArthur's up there. He does a lot of defensive midfield work for us, and he is pretty good at it. He's been injured recently, but yeah. I'll claim. James MacArthur, mate, he's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, James MacArthur for me.
All right. Whatever you say, mate.
I'm resting on that. James MacArthur for me.
All right, then shall we move on?
Yeah.
I prefer the name soccer. Sounds cool.
Oh, well, not even.
Whoever wrote that
I'm
is
not entertaining that.
Whoever wrote that is such a melt.
It's football. It's football, guys. Americans just decide to do everything differently, and they don't have any creative way to make up names. Insta-ban them.
American sports, like, what do you call it? Rewards losing. How can that? How? It's not sport, bro.
It's not sports. Participation.
Yeah, you get.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Nah, they're the same.
You use your foot to kick a ball. Makes sense. Soccer.
American football.
Yeah, an American football. Yeah. What on earth?
It's rarely football. Kick the ball.
Is correct.
American football's good. I'm not going to
say it's bad.
Football shout. I do like American football a lot.
No, but it shouldn't be called. I don't think it should be called football.
Nah. Probably not. Throwball.
Oh, that just sounds weird.
American throwball.
Throw the egg.
Throw the egg.
It should just be called America.
America.
Just America. You gonna play some America?
It's American.
But yeah. The S word is not the one.
Bias is accepted here, but the S word is not.
No, the big no.
Ah, yes. So,
moving on to another one. Americ-B. We've just had a comment. Americ-B. Offside is the one rule that makes little sense in a lot of cases. Offside is the one rule that makes little sense in a lot of cases.
It makes sense. Because if you didn't have offside, then you'd have players just goal hanging and just pinging the ball out there.
So I think this person is disagreeing with the offside rule.
If they're saying they should change the offside rule,
makes little sense in a lot of cases.
If they should get rid of the offside rule, then no, they definitely shouldn't.
Oh God, no! It should be goal hanging.
Yeah, but changing it, I agree with you.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Why when they call after bouncing off post, for example? Yeah, fair.
Well, mine is like they should call it earlier because we saw things like Rui Patricio last night or the night before. He could have avoided that head injury. I know he's okay, but that head injury could have been avoided if the lineman had put his flag up earlier. Yeah. You need to take that into account. The whole thing of leaving it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because why are you gonna leave it? It's gonna be offside anyway.
Just put it up. If you see it's offside, just put it up. I don't care about the rest of the players. Put it up.
The players will play to the whistle anyway.
But yeah, I mean, the change that I like doesn't actually solve any of the problems in terms of like the fine margins and that, because I just think you should favour if any part of you is onside, you're onside, not if any part of you is offside, you're offside. You should favour the attacker personally, in my view, because at the end of the day, I'm watching football to see goals. I'm not watching football to see 0-0s. Ironically, I'm a Palace fan, but I
think it should be the majority, or the majority of your body is that onside or offside. Obviously, I know.
But then again, like that's so
very similar
that
to
doesn't really matter because that's going to still be the small margins. Like, what's the majority of your body?
We've had another.
When you're doing like this, do you know what I mean? Like,
we've got
subjective, right?
Another question came through. What about when the player goes back on front of defence after the pass was made? So if you know you're offside, put him back. I guess that will give too much of an opportunity to purposely stay offside, to be ignored, and then run in onside when the pass is made.
I've got a problem with it. As long as you're onside when
I guess because then there should be a defender right there if you're onside.
If you're onside when the ball's passed, then you're onside when the ball's passed. I don't care.
It means when the ball's passed, when it's received.
Oh no, it should be when the ball's passed because you passed. That's when the ball is. It means
if you're passing it into space and someone runs from offside to right now what we would consider offside, runs onto onside and receives the ball.
I think that's fair enough because they're doing the running back towards their own half. If they're staying there, and say the striker's staying there in a offside position.
Did I get that right, Shed Gaming?
And then the defenders are the ones that move to bring him back onside. Then he receives the ball. I don't think that should be allowed. But I think if the attacker is the one that brings himself back into an onside position before he receives the ball, technically. He's not gaining much of an advantage, if any advantage at all, because all he's doing is he's just still making that he's still making that run backwards. He's still not getting any closer towards the opposition's goal. See what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I'm with you. I don't know. I still think it should just be when the ball's played, because that is trying to find a way to say it. It's like that is the thing that's happening. Do you know what I mean? Like the ball is being played to that person. When the ball is played, if they're onside, then you're onside. Not when you get the ball. That's just how, I don't know. I feel like that's overcomplicating things.
Is that like the standard? Is what you mean? That's the standard of when the ball's played. The rest is just details. Yeah.
I don't think you need to completely almost change the rule, because that is essentially you could basically completely change the rule. Because
I like the idea of what is it? The last part of the player's body being onside now. So was it the small change?
Right, yeah. So basically, the small change for what I was saying was the majority of you. If any part of you is onside, you're onside. Not if any part of you is offside, you're offside.
Right. Yeah.
So favour the attackers. Favours the attackers more, because that's what we want, isn't it? We don't. Do you know what I mean? I want to see goals, man.
Should do. Yeah, but, it's an entertainment sport.
People much smarter than me figure this stuff out. So.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's not my job.
We've already covered this, but shithousery should be encouraged, and we all agree. Again, I think on the other offside thing, it's a sport. At the end of the day, you shouldn't punish someone for just being like Larry, just having that attitude. Like I saw the other day, Haaland run up to the goalie, and just screamed in his face. I was like, I'd love to see it. Because
the keeper did do that to him before.
Yeah, I know, but that's the shithousery that I like.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Not players being a role model. Like, come on, you're a human.
Yeah. Oh no, they gotta be a role model, bro. But somewhat, I do think people expect far too much from athletes in terms of being like,
especially when they're young, when they're like 18, definitely. 19. You're like, come on.
They have to be role models to a certain degree, but people do expect way too much from them, I think.
If you look at people like Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood, obviously about the incident that happened a couple of months ago, in Iceland, with that sort of stuff, I think obviously
you ask any man, are they going to turn down some Icelandic women?
Princesses, I think they were, weren't they?
Yeah, like only human after. In the words of
footballers, though. If they weren't footballers, if they were just sort of 20 or 19, 20-year-old kids, and that happened, you'd be like, oh, well, that's what happens when they're at that age. The fact that obviously they're footballers, obviously I understand there's a hell of a lot more people looking at them, watching what they do, and taking inspiration from them. But I think you can't expect to put that much pressure on someone that's not had the time to mature.
Sorry, we have had another follow, the Good Boy 324. Nice. Thanks for the follow. Hello, how's it going? We're just going through some unpopular opinions at the moment, so welcome. We've previously spoken about sort of favouring the attackers of offside, and now we're just talking about shithousery. Just to give you a quick update.
But yeah, shithousery is we covered it a bit earlier, but yeah,
it's raps.
Love it.
Nice.
We've got footballers care more about their celebration / haircuts more than the game.
Oh, I like that.
That's a mad one.
That is mad.
How do you even make that assumption?
Jesus. I mean, I've seen
some players, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've definitely in the past seen some players only care about how they look, which I think happens to a lot of people. Let's be honest. When you're on TV all day, you care about your image. But I think more people are. More football players are a little bit more mature because they do get a lot more attention now than the 90s players that we.
Footballers should be caring more about the football because that's what gets them paid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, maybe. I don't know, it's a random one, but maybe.
I think clubs are a bit more strict with it as well. Their behaviour, the general behaviour. Like we were talking about 90s football players being a bit loose. Yeah. I think the clubs now have a bit more handling, like some of the stuff they write in contracts.
Yeah, but the power of stuff has definitely shifted towards the players rather than the clubs in general. I think in football.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with certain players definitely, but if you're looking at players that are obviously coming through the ranks, they're not going to have that much sort of pull on what happens with their contract or what happens.
Not the average Joe, no, definitely not.
That's the thing with these big name players that are going to they can throw their name around and they can definitely get what they want just from saying, okay, well, see, I know you need me. What are you going to do to get me, sort of thing, as opposed to sort of the youngsters or the younger players that aren't as big and they go, I need you to help me get to where I want to go. So I think it obviously depends on what sort of point in their career they're in as well, how well they've played, and if they're sort of such a big name.
Yeah, mate, Ramos has outrageously good hair.
Just turned. I was like, wow, Jesus.
Look at that fade, bro.
Look at that hairline, Jesus.
Oh, no. Fair play.
There's been a hell of a lot of crazy ass haircuts and football players have had sometimes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I think that should be an episode on its own.
Oh god, the most legendary.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think that should be an episode on its own. The craziest football.
Yes. Someone write that down because we will forget.
I'll put it on the board.
Oh man! Oh my god! I'm just seeing some of these things come through.
We haven't even got to Beckham yet. Beckham had
a whole episode on his own.
Exactly.
What? Paul Pogba.
Oh, I knew Pogba was going to be all over this.
Oh, Pogba's Juventus hairstyles were legendary.
The Pokemon one, nice. Yeah, that's cool. We are going down the road. Oh yeah, this is.
All right, we'll just turn it off.
Yeah. Spoilers.
What's the next one?
Done it. Palace of Tin Pot.
Oh. Well, that's true.
Wouldn't say it's unpopular.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not popular, really.
Find Tin Pot for me. I don't think anyone really can.
Shall I move on?
Move on.
My phone up.
Move on.
Okay. VAR is great for the sport and yet to make a mistake. Well, okay, someone's clearly trying to have us on there.
That's just not an opinion. That's just wrong. Well, I guess move on because
obviously I know that opinions can't be wrong, but that's incorrect.
That is incorrect. Your opinion is wrong, even though it is your own, but you are wrong. The quality of the game and enthusiasm from players has dipped within the last 5 years.
I wouldn't necessarily say the last 5 years.
Sorry, say it again. Read the question again, sorry.
Yeah, the quality of the game and the enthusiasm from the players has dipped within the last 5 years.
Enthusiasm. I don't know how you say the enthusiasm of the players is dipped.
So I think, obviously, they're probably saying that they just don't look as up for it as they previously did. Unless it's more of a case of they're more relaxed about what they do. They're not so uptight. They can take things more naturally.
I think it comes down to the fact that for the last few years in the Premier League, right? It's been one club has basically ran away with the title. So you're not having teams battling it out for the title at the moment, right? So you're not, like Man United know they're not going to win the fucking Premier League.
And they're second.
When was the last time it came down to the last game of the season? Was it the City 2012? Was it?
Might have been, yeah. It might, yeah. Like there's not that running. So I guess I think the quality of the game. I don't think so. I think the quality of the game. I think that's always rising. Players are always getting better and better and better. I mean, maybe down to VAR that it would have a bit of a road bump in terms of like the flow of the game and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily comes against the quality of the players. I think it just, like you said, it interrupts the flow of the game. It just makes things less consistent.
Yeah, exactly. And but enthusiasm of the players, I don't really get it. I think if anything, Klopp's Liverpool showed the passion and that does still triumph because that's what that Liverpool team ran on, was the determination and the passion set by Klopp, who set the standard. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I agree with that.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the posed question.
I partially agree with it in terms of I can see why they would think that, but I personally don't believe the quality of the game or the sort of enthusiasm is dropped. I think other things have come into it, which is
the game's just changed. That's
that's probably a good word.
Yeah,
It's just changed to VAR being like a big problem, but I think every week something happens every week that is.
It's definitely one of the more entertaining times it's been for football in terms of just general shit going on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we might have missed this one, but referees hate Arsenal. Justice for the 06 UCL final.
That was an Arsenal fan. I don't know who, but that was an Arsenal fan.
That was
I think
very
that was
clear Arsenal fan.
German, one of Harry's friends.
Oh right, fair play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say referees hate Arsenal. We should definitely get justice for that 06 Champions League final, but
what do you want for it?
To win.
just to have it.
Yeah.
Would you actually? Would you? Because obviously, you say justice. You want justice. I think you might be taking the piss, obviously. But if you are serious about justice for the 06, like, what would that be? I don't really know.
Well, no, I think justice in terms of the way the game went down with
the Van Persie thing was dodgy.
Yeah, Van Persie getting sent off. Obviously, Lehman. I'm sure Lehman got sent off as well. He got a red card or something for someone was. I can't remember who it was. Someone basically ran past him, and instead of actually trying to get the ball, he just smacked his foot, so he tripped over and didn't score a goal. They got a penalty and scored anyway. So I think, but that all I think stemmed from the Van Persie sort of incident, and I think a lot more people thought that Arsenal probably should have got something more out of that game instead of just being sort of trampled on really by Barca.
Yeah.
As an Arsenal fan, it's always going to hurt, but
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, fair play. I mean, yeah, I don't personally care because I'm not an Arsenal fan, but
of course not.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
As an opinion, though, I don't think that referees hate Arsenal.
No, of course not.
No, yeah, it is what
That'd
it
be
is.
mental.
So this one might take a little longer than our usual ones to decipher. We might be able to might spend some time looking at some actual stats here. But someone said Thierry Henry is still the best striker the Premier League has ever seen.
It depends what you want. If you want goals and shit, then it's Alan Shearer.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't say he's the best striker the Premier League's ever seen. He's definitely up there, but it depends on what you just define the best as.
Apparently, Peter Crouch is 100th.
Probably say he might be the best player to play as a striker, like all-round player. Like he could do more than Shearer could do. But getting goals, the fundamentals of what a striker is, like their job is to get goals and win. And Shearer has 260 goals in the Premier League. How can you even argue against that? Do you know what I mean? But I think as an all-round player, I don't see why you couldn't say that. He did far more than what Shearer did in terms of being like a general football player and shit like that. He was great at getting assists and stuff like that.
So here we have
striking-wise,
ranking the top 20 players in the Premier League in Premier League
2012.
2012, Jesus.
Yeah, that article came out in 2012. I don't know if that's going to be a very good.
Maybe not.
Well, the one you had before was quite good. That showed Henry at the top, wasn't it?
I mean,
but no, I think you can. Just do Premier League striking stats, man.
Oh, I just
Premier League goals. Just do Premier League goals, like and stuff like that. Because it depends what you mean. I mean, if I
just said players. To be fair,
Aguero's definitely up there.
2018 is that not soon enough?
No, just have a look.
That'll cover the majority.
But 2012 is a bit far away, isn't it? The game's changed a bit since then.
Adebayor at 30. Scroll. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Go to the top 10, innit? We don't. Oh, Torres should have been higher.
Ian Wright.
Yeah, fair play.
213 games with 113 goals.
And he started very late.
0.5 goals per game, sorry. One title. Games per game.
Oh, Ruud van Nistelrooy, what a player.
Great player.
With a goal per game is 0.63, not bad.
No.
Didier Drogba. This list is getting difficult.
I think kind of overrated, but a good player still.
I mean, not as
creeping into our top 10 strikers of all time list that we'll be doing at some point.
I mean, it's inevitable, really, isn't it?
Just go to true. Just go to.
Let's go to number 1.
Luis Suarez, yep.
Yeah. Just
No one cares about him. Go to number 1.
Sergio Aguero, 4th. Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry again.
If they're going off play, like, I don't know, man. It's tough because
Did you say Alan Shearer?
if you're looking at fundamentals, right, of what a striker is and it's getting goals, then it's Shearer, and no doubt about it, it's Shearer. But if you're looking at the player generally as a football player, I think Henry's a better football player than Shearer was, but Shearer is a better striker than Henry was.
Yeah.
Well, Alan Shearer scored more goals. Alan Shearer scored more goals than Thierry Henry's played games.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But yeah, I mean,
that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one because there's so much to just take into consideration. Are we talking all-round players? Are we talking just goals? It changes things.
And obviously, it's different generations as well.
Yeah.
Like this generation of footballers compared to Henry's generation, they're two different things. Obviously, it's very much everything's a lot more advanced these days in terms of even the training facilities, everything like that. All the time that they put into everything and all the equipment they've got to do it. Probably, obviously, these players are probably 5 times fitter than they used to be, but does that necessarily make them 5 times better? Who knows? You can't really compare the difference between the two generations.
I'm looking forward to when the inevitable one of Henry or Kane comes up.
Henry? It's not really a question, is it?
Right now, but with the way Kane's playing, bro, and if he stays in the Premier League,
how long do you reckon he'll stay in the Premier League for?
I mean, my perfect situation, really, I would love to see him leave Spurs but go to another Premier League club.
I don't think that will happen.
Like United, essentially. But Kane, if Kane stays in the Premier League for his whole season, he will be the best Premier League striker of all time.
You reckon?
Definitely. He's got the assist now as well to be like, yeah, he's not just like, because Henry had the assist as well. Kane's added that to his game. He just needs to get he needs to get some silverware.
Yeah, something to eat his dinner with.
Yeah.
Well, how many games has Harry Kane played for Tottenham?
For Tottenham, all right.
He's probably played.
Yeah, transfer market's good.
As many as Henry has, if not potentially more.
Yeah, let's have a look. It's not going to bloody just tell me, is it? Stats. 236 appearances.
So, yeah, and how many did Henry have? It was
258.
So, yeah, he's nearly had as many appearances.
What's the goals? How many goals has Henry got?
115. Oh, Henry's got 175. Harry Kane's got 159.
Okay, so yeah, in the time that he gets to the same appearances, he could have more goals.
Could be, yeah.
Potentially.
What's that, like another 2 seasons? Or 1 season, probably.
No,
one
playing
season.
on
22 games?
Yeah, 1 season.
It's just over half a season. But
33 assists as well in that time.
I don't think he's going to get... to be fair, he could get 15 goals in the next...
16 goals, 13 assists. That's decent.
Yeah, he's been fantastic this season. But obviously, Henry's playing. It was on a better squad than Kane's doing that kind of shit. It's all, you got to take everything into context. Yeah. But yeah, that'll be an interesting debate when that eventually comes around, because that's going to be sooner than we think, actually, that debate coming around.
Well, yeah, looking at the stats.
If you're just going on play, but yeah, he needs silverware, man, because
2 titles.
At the end of the day, titles
Is that
do
100?
matter.
Is that in just Premier League or for Henry?
That might just be for Arsenal.
Just Arsenal as a whole.
Right, do you want me to have a look at what Henry's saying in regards to just...
Well, go onto the Premier League website again, and then you can just do it for Henry as well. You should be able to.
Yeah? That's kind of...
Should be able to.
Is that spelled Thierry?
It's 2 R's.
Henry.
Just put Henry. Henry. Aguero versus Henry. Oh, not bad.
Players. No,
Nah,
well, it's not
it's
that,
not
but
probably.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, no. Yeah,
not
fair
bad.
play.
Not bad. No, it's going to be interesting if and when we get to that. I'm sure we've got a lot planned, though, don't we?
Yeah, we've got quite a few videos coming up. To be fair, we need to get a move on with a few of them, I guess. But that's fine, it doesn't matter. But yeah, all right. What was your next one, my man? I think
that was it. That was the last one.
He's top 2, isn't he? Henri, let's be real. He's top 2.
Yeah,
so
that's close enough.
Who cares? Like Henri or Shearer? I mean, fuck it. Doesn't matter, mate. They're both quality players.
So that was pretty much all of our unpopular opinions. Yeah, I think we had some decent ones there.
I definitely agree. Let's have a look. What's the football for next week? I mean, there's only a few games.
Sorry, mate.
There was another one that someone put in the group chat. Early MLS style penalties for all penalty shootouts, far more exciting and skillful.
What is the early style MLS?
I'm not 100% sure.
Isn't that the one where you start further back but run in with the ball?
Oh, fuck. Why do people want to make this game Tim Pot, bruv? Let's just leave it, man. Don't need to Americanize everything. Fuck. No. Just take penalties, man. They're hard enough. Just take penalties. They're exciting enough.
So I think it was from the 90s. Embarrassing experiment.
MLS penalty.
Okay, instead of the traditional penalty kick shootout where players would take shots from 12 yards out, the MLS opted for a true shootout. The players started 35 yards from the goal and had 5 seconds to take the shot against the keeper, who was free to move off his line. The winner of the shootout would get 1 point, the loser would get nothing. It was oddly entertaining, if a bit unfair for the losing side.
Oh yeah, it's funny to watch, but no, I'm alright.
Yeah, it's interesting. It'd be cool to do these things in like charity games and things like that, just to obviously for the pure entertainment of it. But I'd hate to like see a goalie come up to take their pen or something and have to do that. Do you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't get to that position, but someone you don't want to be on the ball doing that stuff, and you're like, kind of don't want him to take. Just take the shot. Do you know what I mean?
I know it's more fun, but we are seeing the same thing happen over and over again. So how much more fun than penalty? Like they're doing the same thing over and over again. Just chipping.
You'll get close and just
so
go
how much more fun is this than penalties? Really?
It's more frustrating than it is.
I think it's just because it's different.
Yeah,
it's different to the way it is now.
It's because America. That's why.
They got to do something, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Oh, look, the goalie's about to take the pen.
Okay, if you don't think penalty shootout, okay, if you like a good penalty shootout to watch is let me find it. African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
I
missed that. Watch them absolutely dink it. I'd probably try and dink it every single time. They come out so far.
That's what I was thinking. Like the keeper's coming right off his line. Chances are you can just dink it over him. Obviously, you only have 5 seconds to do so, but
yeah. But then you get into technicalities. Do you have to kick the ball, and like does the travel count in that as well? Like, come on, I'm seeing more saves than I am seeing goals here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually decent, to be fair.
Yeah, I believe it was. This was it. Ivory Coast versus Cameroon. It was 1-1, and Ivory Coast won 12-11 on penalties. It was honestly one of the most insane things. Cameroon penalty shootout. There we go. Yeah, they won 12-11.
All right, let's go.
I remember watching this live.
For our listeners,
I used to love the Cup of Nations
YouTube this.
For our listeners, yeah, give this a listen. Listen? Yeah, give this a listen.
2006 African Cup of Nations.
We are.
Ivory Coast Cameroon penalty shootout.
Weird intro. Let me just put
Skip
it forward.
Drogba, those.
Oh, these are the highlights.
Take me back.
It's the full highlights.
No, just get to the penalties. But I remember watching this live.
Are these the pens?
Yeah. Is that Samuel Eto'o?
Yeah, man. Eto'o played for Cameroon. Drogba for Ivory Coast. They had Kalou, Solomon Kalou at the time as well. Ivory Coast. Yaya and Kolo Toure would have been playing for Ivory Coast at this time as well.
Jesus. Okay, so
Oh mate, yeah.
So it was just a constant like back and forth.
This is so much more like intense.
Oh, bang, banged that in, smashed it back.
What a kick, what a strike at Eto was.
Bang. Oh man, yeah, straight in. And then it just sort of, oh, there he is. It just sort of did this.
How nice is that kit, man?
It's very nice, actually. Oof, nice.
But yeah, it was 12-11, man. You can't. The
12.
keepers took penalties. Say that the keepers took penalties.
Oh, there he is. 10-10 at that point. Oh, he backed it.
So if it's 12 people take penalties,
You go back
so
around.
just one player take.
Yeah, you go back around. Yeah.
twice.
I think it's Eto that missed
Oh,
the penalty that lost it. I think essentially.
that is hard. Oh,
Mate, the pressure of taking one penalty is enough, let alone having to then take another one.
oh, that was a nice
Great
pen.
pen.
That was a great pen.
Great pen.
If you're listening to this and not seeing it, you definitely need to watch these penalties. Oh, is
I
this the
think
one?
it's Eto here. I think he misses it. I think it's quite a bad miss.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
So, yeah,
man.
That I remember watching that live at my nan's house. I remember that was so good, man.
Speaking of shithousery, there was just, I think one of the Ivory Coast players just jumped up right in front of the Cameroon player, started celebrating.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
But yeah, penalty shootouts are wicked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't necessarily think they need to change it. I think it would be for entertainment purposes, just because it's slightly different. I think it would be good every once in a while, like you say, for some sort of charity match or soccer aid, for instance. That might be quite interesting.
yeah.
For the Prem, no, I think it would just make us look a bit
Do it in
stupid.
the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, spice things up. I don't care. Just leave the Premier League alone.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, no. Apart from I'm just looking at football for next week, it's a really dull week of football this weekend. 4 games on. Fulham, Leeds, Brighton, Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham, and then West Ham, Arsenal.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy week for the fantasy, isn't it?
Oh my god.
I'm not even checking.
I think we've all got about 3 players playing each.
Well, yeah, I would have had more, but I got Son and Bamford injured.
Yeah,
On the
same.
2 teams that are actually playing.
So this weekend we have match day 29. We have 2 games. We have match day 18 and 3 games on match day 29. But we also have match day 18 being played, and I think just because of it was changing up so much.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking about last week with the coronavirus and everything like that, it made a lot of people miss games, things like that. So they're all trying to catch up. So it's going to be a bit of an odd week. Perhaps 1 game on Saturday. It's going to be it's not even a good game. Brighton versus Newcastle.
Nah, it's gonna
Looks
be
like
dead.
we're all going to be gaming over the weekend, not watching football.
Yeah.
That's all we can really do.
We've
But-
got
Working as well.
Arsenal West Ham on now Sunday, which is going to be interesting for my fan.
In regards to game week for FPL, what games are actually on? Because is it match
All
day
of them,
29,
all of them.
18?
All
Yeah,
49,
so
yeah.
all of those
of
games,
course, yeah,
4 of those games
29,
are
yeah.
being played this weekend.
Oh, there's some. They're not. I mean, the best game there is West Ham Arsenal.
In terms of, either that or potentially Villa Tottenham,
They're
because
not terrible
of
games,
where
but they're not.
where they are in the league. They're
I'm looking at other sports. I'm just thinking, my Miami Heat are playing at 5 p.m. on Sunday, so I'll be watching that instead.
Well,
I
That's
think
about it.
Villa Tottenham might be a bit interesting because they're 9th and 8th. But other than that, maybe they're the West Ham Arsenal game. But the rest of it, I think it's going to be pretty dull, really.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother probably, but I might catch. Yeah, I might catch one of the Villa, Tottenham, or Arsenal. Actually, I might watch Brighton, Newcastle. I know that doesn't sound like a very exciting game, and it probably won't be. I'll have it on in the background.
you just want Brighton to lose, don't you?
But that's a big game, man. That's a big game for both clubs. Like they're 17th and 16th, respectively.
Yeah, there's 1 point in it between the two of
Yeah.
them.
So yeah, it's a big. I might watch that, but I'm not really like that excited by this weekend's football.
But what we doing next week, then, boys?
So looking at the board, we're moving on to our top 10 midfielders of all time.
midfielders. That's gonna be a lot of players.
And just so you know, I've taken wingers out of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're talking central midfielders, not right mids and left mids. We'll put them in the wingers, and then we'll have strikers.
So just centre forward, centre mid, CDM.
Yeah. I'll send you, if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I'm just actually trying to think how that's going to work, because there are some, because Mo Salah is obviously a winger, but then he's also played striker a bit, but he is a winger, right? Like, we'll say he's a winger, more. But we can figure it out. But yeah, so it'll be central sort of midfielders, like centre attacking mid, centre mid, CDM, them three, in this one.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be next week's.
Yeah.
Which will be good fun.
Also got a couple other things in the pipeline as well for other weeks. We're full of ideas at the moment, but obviously if you guys have got any ideas, let us know. Drop a message in the comments. Hit us up on Insta as well, whatever your favorite
use, yeah.
That's it.
Let us know what you want us to be talking about, and if you've got any good ideas for us as well.
Yeah, like, you know, we sort of
We
want
need to do a Euro special. Talk about the Euros.
I was about to say we've got some things lined up for, because obviously the hardest point for us would be the off season stuff. So we get that filled up with some ideas, and hopefully, we'll be looking more entertaining.
That's it, mate. That's it. But yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in, either on the live stream or on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your Footy Fetish
now.
Yeah, we're on everywhere.
Podcast now, yeah. So if you're not a fan of Spotify, good on you. We're on Apple Podcasts now as well.
I'm so indie.
Out there. But yeah.
Yeah, no. We're on everything, so there's no.
We are now on like
us, basically.
Twitch was the last thing.
Football Fetish, Footy Fetish, but yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone, for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Follow. I'm trying to think of all the words for social media.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell for notifications. Follow us on Instagram, obviously. Yeah.
We will obviously be doing some more interactive kind of stuff like we did with this week, getting your guys' opinions on Instagram.
We'll be doing more of that stuff.
We'll run some polls, things like that. We obviously value your opinion as well. It's not just us here. We want to hear from you guys.
If you would like, I think one thing idea that I had for the off season, I was just thinking we might as well start collecting stuff now. I was thinking we might just do a podcast about us. People get to know us a bit better from some of the fans, that kind of stuff.
Just
you know what I mean?
Talk
about stuff like music, films, games we like, all that kind of different stuff.
Yeah.
Junior career in lower league, Sunday league football.
Oh yeah.
I was more into Saturday football.
Saturday, Sunday, either way.
Ironically, I actually played rugby to a much better level than I played football, but I haven't played. Yeah, I've not even spoken about rugby or anything like that on here. But yeah, all right. That's it, boys. Thanks for joining, and we'll be. Yeah, I don't know when the next episode is going out. It'll be in a couple of days, I imagine, or something.
When Mark starts to put his finger out, we'll get it up.
Enough of that.
Hopefully, Harry will be back for next week as well.
I'm sure he will be, hopefully, if he gets his internet back. But we've missed you today, H.
We have.
But yeah, that's it. Have a good week, everyone.
Bye.
And we'll see you soon.